I think academics and Vlad get too much credit for a lot of things that go on their platforms. I think that people just want to point a finger at somebody because that's usually how it goes. I've been in workplaces, work environments where something will go wrong, specifically like in the medical field, something will go wrong with a patient, and then they start blaming the nurse from the last shift, or they start blaming the tech that didn't do this, or the doctor that didn't do that. People always tend to pass blame because usually us as human beings, a lot of us don't take ownership of what we actually do, you know. But at the same time, I've listened to academics for years. I love academics show, so I'm biased towards academics in a lot of ways. But I remember the war in Chirac and when he was actively posting and giving guys nicknames and kind of he wasn't glorifying the acts because a lot of times he went after these guys like what kind of guy would do this or do that? Why are these guys? He would go after guys, but at the same time he's making it entertaining. So when these guys are getting murdered and locked up and doing robberies and stuff, these guys kind of want to do stuff to get on academics platform. And then when something gets done, they kind of get like, okay, well, if my homeboy gets killed and reporting that I'm the fucking Reaper, the Grim Reaper and the demon, I have to now respond. Or if I'm the Reaper and I'm the demon and I kill one of somebody else's homeboys, they have to kill the Chirac demon or whatever. But at the same time, a lot of that stuff was gonna happen regardless if Act reported on it or not. The stuff was on the news all the time. We get news about Chicago all the time about the murders that's happening. Act ain't posting nothing in the war in Chirac in years, and the death rate is still high, maybe higher than it was at the time when he was posting. And then you go back, a lot of these, they pull up old tweets from King Von and different uh, people that were within the whole war that's going on. These guys were tweeting about each other, making posts about, this guy dissing that person, dissing that person. I mean, this stuff's been going on for years. I just think Ack kind of gets too much credit on that front. And when he went on Clubhouse, I didn't like a lot of the stuff that was being said. A lot of the dudes either A were trying to crack jokes, which a lot of them weren't funny, or they would B just like all this vitriol and hatred just going towards Ack. Like Meek got on there. Ack has been saying for years that Meek's mad because Ack won't do what Meek tell him to do, which is post the stuff Meek wants to be posted. Meek don't want to be posted in a bad light. And the problem with him and Vlad is that they're the faces of their platform, unlike Shade Room or Baller Alert or these other places, because there's no face. When you the face, people gonna come at you directly. So that's Meek's main problem. Meek's talking about, you ain't never donated money to the hood, not like, but as time has went on, Act gave money to the lady. I think I forgot what her name was. Something Barbie. I forgot what her name was. They mentioned it in the clubhouse. Act donated money to her. No, none of the other people that were in that chat donated money, or at least haven't shown proof to have donated money. When it came to Meek driving through the hood and he could have gave some kids some money, they out here selling legal stuff rather than illegal um, items. Meek get them $20 to split amongst like 5 or 6 kids. So it's a lot of unnecessary hate that he gets. But he also be wilding, man. Like I done seen him get on Twitch, and drink all that Henny, and say all type of things about Chrissy Teigen and different people. Act wild out. But at the same time, I think they just give him too much credit. He instigates beefs and stuff. I mean, he's posting the news. Act don't make this stuff up. He don't go and research stuff that's hid in files and digs it up. This stuff literally be posted online. A lot of these guys post this stuff online so it can be seen, and then when Act repost it, all of a sudden Act is instigating beef. Like that dude that was beefing with me a couple weeks ago, Pound Side something. That guy was beefing with Meek a couple weeks ago, and Meek made a good point that Act has never posted him until he started beefing with Meek. That's a good point. But at the same time, Shade Room also posted it. It was news. You were trending for it. You and that guy were trending. So you telling me now I'm just not supposed to post the news? And then on top of that, it's like Act don't walk in the studio and say, "No, you can't rap about this. You can't rap about that," because 21 Savage made a statement that when he goes in the studio, sometimes he says stuff, but he just be rapping, kind of like it's like, "Nah, bro, you be saying some stuff you shouldn't say." But I don't walk in the studio and say, "Re-record that, rewrite it. You said that wrong." So don't come to my platform telling me what I can and can't post. I've been saying for a while, like the industry that Ack is in, which is the gossip, the rumor, the news industry, it's not friendly to celebrities. You are not going to be able to be friends with a lot of these guys. Because when it comes down to a real story that you're going to have to report on, like 21 had that whole UK thing. Tory had he's got the whole Meg thing currently. Everybody gonna have their time in the spotlight that ain't gonna be bright. And you gonna have to report it. It's the news. But then now I have to run it by these guys because I'm cool with them. So he's gonna be conflicting with a lot of people just because of the arena he's in. But I mean, hey, who gets to just to be friends with Tory Lanez and these other guys and Casanova and these guys? Like, who gets to just be friends with them? So a lot of times it's conflicting interests. You got your job and your money, and then you got your friends or your so-called friends, associates maybe. And then you get to Vlad. I love Vlad too. Sometimes, like I said, I can call Vlad out when he on that BS, and I can call Vlad out when he's doing a good job. I'm a fan of both of them. But if you actually pay attention to Vlad's interviews, it's just specific parts. Like he cuts it down in clips. I don't usually watch the whole interviews, but you have to actually listen to Vlad's interviews as to specifically what questions he's asking, not as the whole video or the whole interview in its entirety, because you miss a lot of things when you listen to it like that. You have to really break that, because people are saying that, and I'm on the side of, Vlad ain't the police. Literally, we don't know. Maybe undercover, maybe CIA or something. Vlad's not proclaiming to be the police. He don't have a gun to your head. You have your own mind, your own thoughts, your own words. Say what you want to say. Don't make Vlad make you say something that's going to incriminate you. But Vlad will ask questions. He got some really odd questions that he likes to ask. Like he'll ask a guy, somebody will die. Let's say it's one of the rappers' homeboys got killed or something. He'd be like, oh, so your homeboy got shot. He'd be like, yeah, man, he died. It is what it is. Time goes on, and then Vlad will be like, well, how did you feel? Like, nigga, how do you think I feel? But they'll be like, shit, I was tore up. Vlad. I ain't gonna lie to you. And Vlad, the next question Vlad asked would be like, so how many bodies did he have? Like, what? Like, that nigga, his transitions be odd as hell. Like, he'll go from like, so how many bodies did he have? Like, what the fuck? But that's the shit that Vlad does. It's hilarious. And then the questioning that people are talking about, the police shit, is when Vlad will be like, he asks you shit like, so you and your boy Trez hijacked the car and you went to the back of the studio, right? And they'll be like, yeah, me and him jacked it up, and then we broke in through the back. And you know, me and Trez both got locked up for like a carjacking or something like that. Did you shoot anybody? Yeah, but we ain't get caught for that. That part right there. Like, and these niggas really be like, they'll answer. Like, I don't know if it's because he's white. Because like Adam 22. You look at Adam 22 show. Adam, a lot of his questions, he don't talk to you like the police, but Adam will ask you some more off the wall questions or say some off the wall. White boys will like slide little like gay shit in there sometimes, and it'll fly because they white. It's like almost white humor. They can get away with certain stuff, but then black people, like, it's no way black people would go in there and profess themselves the way that they do on Vlad. But part of it is the questions that Vlad do ask police questions. And them dudes, some of them guys don't know how to pick it out. Like Plies was able to pick it out. He said, like, you asked me what my tattoos mean. Lil Baby was able to pick it out with that whole jail thing. He said, it was a white supremacist that you got into it with. Lil Baby was like, how you know that? He said, oh, I just heard it. He said, hell no. Nah. Vlad funny as hell. Vlad, but you have to really know how to play him, man. Like, the John Sallies have nothing to worry about. Michael Franzese, he did his dirt years ago, served his time. All that shit is over with. Everything he talk about now is like statutes of limitations. I think that's what it's called. Don't kill me for that. But a lot of stuff, he bring in guys that really don't have nothing to spill their guts about, but he will bring in guys who just got the streets 3 years ago, and these dudes like Casanova is the person that everybody's talking about now. Cass's interviews with Vlad were very, very entertaining. Cass is an entertaining guy. He's charismatic. Like when he talks, he can draw your attention. And what's his name? The guy that he was with, the other podcast guy that got locked up. Tax Stone's like that too. They can draw you in with their words. But Tax got on there and started talking about his crimes like he ain't even did them. He said that shit like it came out of a book. And like I like Cass a lot, but people are saying, Vlad. I'm like, for like you go back and listen to the interview, Cass went on a rant. Like Vlad asked him a question and he would take it and run with it. And as an interviewer, that's what you want. You want to interview guys and then they don't just or one sentence answers. You want a guy that's gonna expound upon what you're asking or something you say to them. And he was telling you all type of shit. Very entertaining interview. But they said they went back and looked at it, some of the stuff he's been doing. They started looking at like how he glorified the gang, and they looking at Instagram pictures with guns and stuff. And I don't know. I don't understand that life. I wasn't raised in that life. I've been around it, but to me, it always never made sense when guys would. I had a home. Well, I won't say he was my homeboy, but he was an associate of mine, and we went to school together for a couple years. I knew him when we went in high school, and at some point he kind of just drifted off into like that world. He started selling drugs. He joined the gang and like in his 20s, and I just thought it was so weird. And I remember he was moving kind of fast. I was seeing stuff he was posting, and I was just like, when I saw him, I talked to him, and I was like, man, listen, you might need to slow down, bro. You moving fast as hell. And he was like, I got it. I'm cool. I'm good. Stuff like that. And it wasn't too long after, he ended up getting killed. And I wasn't surprised, but I was disappointed and I was saddened because I was just like, this dude had a lot of potential. He had a lot of potential. And he kind of just threw it away, and it was the way he was moving. I've seen a couple guys like that. Like, if you doing that type of shit, one, I don't want the police to know I got it on me. And two, I don't want niggas to know I got it on me. It be dudes, like there's a lot of guys like they want to hustle to get their money. They rather go out, work their job, work overtime and shit. Some guys will go out and sell drugs or, flip stuff. Like, people find hustles. And there's some guys who literally, they hustle is robbing you. Some dudes, they don't have a hustle. They hustle is robbing. Like they just want to take what you got, what you work hard for. That's all they want. Jealousy and envy. They see you shining. They want to see you down. They want to take what you got. So I never understand the whole point of flexing. Man, I did that shit one time, and I felt dumb as hell. I was like, why did I do that? Now, and I ain't saying you can't take an Instagram picture and, show off your outfit or something. You going to the club, you had to go to like a little meeting or something, show off. But it comes down to the fact where guys are starting to flex literal cash. That's what they want. Because a lot of this stuff is hard. Like, you have to sell it off on the street. It take time. Dudes want quick licks. Dudes be stealing phones and stuff. Phones are quick licks. You sell that, that's a quick $500, $600 in your pocket. Quick lick. They stealing your PS5 and your Xboxes and stuff. Those are quick licks. You sell them quick. But some of this stuff, they don't want like a bunch of, maybe a bunch of shoes or something. That's not quick licks. You can't just get, now depending on the pair that they got, you might not be able to just get 600, 700 easy off the streets for something like that. So a lot of times they want quick licks, and dudes be showing them all this shit. I don't understand it, but it's not for me to understand. That's not my world. I've been around it. I wasn't raised in it. It's not for me to understand. It's not for me. But at the end of the day, back to the topic at hand, I just think that Vlad and Ak get too much credit. I don't believe Vlad asks police-ass questions, but dudes be answering police-ass questions. Because if they're answering Vlad questions like that, I would hate to see what they were doing when they was out in the streets when the police was questioning them. When you literally had, like, they giving you ultimatums like, nigga, you can tell me what happened or we can give you these 10, 12 years. Because Vlad is not giving you no ultimatum. He just like, what happened? If you say, no, I can't speak on that, Vlad moves to the next question. So I hate to see what these dudes do on the street if they so willingly would give themselves up on the internet.